Greetings to all my tech heads out there in the KevTechify Nation. And if you're new here, welcome. In this episode, we're going to look at authentication, authorization, and accounting, also known as AAA, on the ASA. We'll be discussing a AAA overview, local database and servers, and then finally we'll take a look at AAA configuration. This episode is part of my series on network security for the CCNA. I'm Kevin here at KevTechify. Let's get this adventure started. Authentication, authorization, and accounting, typically referred to as AAA, it provides an extra level of protection and user control. Using AAA only, authenticated and authorized users can be permitted to connect through the ASA. Authentication is proving you are who you say you are. Authorization controls access per user after the user is authenticated. Authorization controls the services and commands that are available to each authenticated user. Accounting tracks traffic that passes through the ASA, enabling administrators to have a record of user activity. The local database is those users you create on that ASA on that device. Now, to create a user in our local database, we use the username command. We specify what we want the name to be. So here we're creating a user called admin. Then it's a keyword of password. And our password is class. And finally, we specify what privilege level they have. We give them privilege level 15. Once you create that, to verify it, you can go ahead and do a show run username, and it'll give you all the users you have created in our local database. So we have a admin user. They go ahead and hide our password because it's encrypted, and then they also say what privilege level that user has. To erase a user from the local database, use the clear config username and then specify the username after that command. To configure a TACACS Plus or a Radius server, there's some different commands we can use. So down here we use AAA-server. We call it the TACACS server, and the protocol we're using is TACACS Plus. You can see that our prompt has changed to configuring a AAA server group. Now, to create this TACACS server group, we can use the AAA server command and fill in our information that specifies about it. Once we're done identifying and setting that up, we can go ahead and type exit. If we do the show run AAA-server, we can see that we have a TACACS server set up using the protocol TACACS Plus, and then this is the address of our TACACS server. To authenticate users who access the ASA command line over the console connection, serial connection, SSH, HTTPS, which would also be our ASDM, or a telnet connection, or to authenticate users who access privilege exec mode using the enable command, we use the AAA authentication enable console command. So right here we have our AAA authentication. Then how are they connecting? Then we use the keyword of console, and then where are our users? Are they local, or are they part of a server group where we can do our authentication? To continue with our AAA authentication, we then specify that we want to enforce authentication against our different connection methods. Here you can see we have 5 different connection methods specified: serial, SSH, HTTP, telnet, enable. Each one of them need to have a line. Then we have the keyword of console, and then we have the TACACS-server group, and we're specifying that we are using local passwords. Once we have that all set up, we can use the show run AAA, and that will give us our current configuration for AAA authentication. To test this, what we can do is we can log out of our system. So we type exit several times until we actually logged off. Now we can go ahead and type our username, admin, type in our passwords. We get our banner message of the day. It says that we are logged in. It gives us last time we logged in. But because we have got our AAA set up, we can see when our user admin logged in and then what they did. It was my pleasure to provide you with this wonderful episode on AAA on the ASA. If you like this episode and you got value out of it, please click that like button, give a 5-star rating, leave a comment. This all helps me bring you more great content. Please take a minute to subscribe to my channel. All my socials and contact information are on my website, KevTechify.com. There you can find out how to get all these episodes in video and podcast form. In the upper right is my playlist for my series on network security for the CCNA. In the bottom right is one of my favorite videos that I linked just for you. Thank you so much for watching this episode of my series on network security for the CCNA. Once again, I'm Kevin. This is KevTechify. I'll see you next time for another great adventure.